Like, if I call you my brother, you know what it is. And breaking the code, I could be calm, cool, collective. If we start wilding, I'm changing the mode.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Harding Way. And I think we all know what time it is. Football season coming to a close here. Super Bowl a week away. Conference Championship Sunday is today. So we got to talk about the four teams left and what a Super Bowl means to each team. I did this video last year when it was the Ravens and the Chiefs and San Fran and the Lions. Only team that's back again is the Chiefs. But let's get right into it and let's start talking about what a Super Bowl means to every team left. First, let's keep it simple. Start with the Commanders. I mean, I call these like the underdog, the like I don't even know what word to describe Disney movie like run they've had. It's actually bananas. And clearly, first things first, Super Bowl to them. You make Dan Snyder look completely terrible if he hasn't looked terrible already. I mean, that secretly would be the funniest part of all of this is knowing that he's they sell the team and now they're magically winning. Like that's gotta look rough on Dan Snyder. But for Jaden Daniels, and I'm gonna do a video about this later. He win or lose on Sunday, he's had the greatest rookie quarterback season ever. Greatest rookie season ever, I think you could honestly argue. I mean, like when you go outside of the quarterback, your Jim Browns, Gale Sayers, Lawrence Taylor's come up, Randy Moss, of course. But as a quarterback, greatest rookie quarterback season ever. And he just solidifies that, puts it in stone, possibly greatest rookie season ever if the Commanders win the Super Bowl. Players like Terry McLaurin, first win, gotta love it. Brian Robinson, another one where it's like you've earned this, and I think the whole world would just be happy for y'all winning. Cliff Kingsbury, I mean, you look like an offensive genius. Dan Quinn, you finally get the win of the coach because we all know what happened in Atlanta. But for the Commanders, I mean, and all things around, just great thing for DC, and you put Commanders back on the map for the first time since your days with Doug Williams for the most part. But we'll keep going. Then you got the Eagles. Honestly, Saquon Barkley, as a Derrick Henry fan, it hurts to say this, but like he genuinely puts on one of like the greatest like running back seasons ever, especially in the fact that as going into Sunday, he only needs like 140 something yards to have the most rushing yards in the season, including the playoffs and the regular season. So like that right there is just, by far, clearly he's putting up the numbers to do so. I mean, for Jalen Hurts, you finally get over that hump and win. You get your revenge for 22, and if you get against the Chiefs too definitely get your revenge for 22. Or would it be 23? My years are a little off with that. But anyhow, like that would be wild for them. And then you got to think for like, for all of them, like a Nick Sirianni, you get over that hump, especially for those like those other guys that replace your Jason Kelsey's on the offensive line. They get all the credit they deserve, of course. Lane Johnson, you get another ring. And so all around for Philly, it would just be a more of like a revenge thing, and you get your get back in a sense. You finally climb over that hump that you denied a few years back. I mean, that's kind of simple. I feel like there's not much else you can say about that. I mean, for AJ Brown, you get your ring. Like a lot of those guys, I'd put in that category for some of those rookies. I mean, you cap off a great rookie season for like a Cooper DeJean or a Keon Mitchell, especially if at the NFL honors you get Defensive Rookie of the Year on top of that. I mean, like, it'd be wild. But then, we keep it moving. The Buffalo Bills. Honestly, I think of like all the teams with like Commander had the same story, but it's like or the Eagles do too, but the getting over that hump for Buffalo would be bananas. And I'm just saying, like genuinely, like it'd be crazy. And granted, I'm not the biggest Josh Allen guy. I mean, I didn't pick the Bills to win that game versus Baltimore. Be very honest with you, but like he definitely steps up a tier past your Burrows and Lamar Jacksons in a way if he finally gets that Super Bowl. That's the one thing that's pretty much haunting like half this quarterback class. Half of the generation of QBs. The thing that's haunting you is your Super Bowl because who we're going to talk about next is pretty much denying everybody, keeping everybody at bay, similar to Tom Brady once did long ago. I mean, for Josh Allen, I think if he wins, he to me becomes the Big Ben in this generation. I think Lamar is your Peyton Manning, especially with the rough starts and you look at the stats and stuff. Mahomes is your Brady. I think Josh Allen's gonna be your Big Ben. He's gonna be the one in the AFC that got through by him. Like he's the one that got through because like Peyton got through eventually, like sure, but like Big Ben got there first. I just want to put that on record, like type thing. So. And then he got there twice. But I think Josh Allen definitely, for him, this would be really big and gives you that one up on that Lamar argument. Because they always make that comparison with him and Lamar. And right now, having no MVPs and no Super Bowl appearances, same as Lamar, but Lamar has MVPs on top of it, possibly three. I mean, yeah. Or in a world where Josh Allen wins MVP and then wins Super Bowl on top of that, like he really takes himself. he takes us past Lamar in that argument, and for sure. Then you got to think of some of the other guys, like Mark Cooper. He's definitely on that list of like Terry McLaurin's, where it's like, man, I think the world would just be happy to see you winning, especially too with for Josh Allen in this scenario, being the only like Pro Bowl guy and the only All Pro guy on your team, and basically like single-handedly leading your team. And think about the not so much Denver, but beating Baltimore and the Chiefs and possibly having to beat like the Eagles or Commanders, like that's that you had your run through the mill and you got through. So for Buffalo, this would definitely be that biggest thing. Also, too, I mean, Josh Allen at that point he's cemented in Buffalo history, especially after the '90s and Jim Kelly and his the Four Falls of Buffalo as that one documentary calls it. For Josh Allen, you're just cemented into Bills history. I mean, your number's pretty much retired. I mean, you're definitely getting a ring of honor. Like, I mean, you could argue he's doing that now, but like, really, the biggest loser though for Buffalo is Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs, because he left and then they win without him. He'd be the new Tyreek Hill in the situation. But speaking of Tyreek Hill's old team, the Kansas City Chiefs, man, oh man, if they pull off the three-peat, Mahomes, let's start there. Mahomes is the second greatest quarterback of all time behind Tom Brady. Mahomes will have jumped Joe Montana without any doubt in my mind. And honestly, you could honestly do that thing where like when LeBron did the 3-1 comeback and kind of do the 1A, 1B thing with them because no one else has ever three-peated. And at that point, like Mahomes definitely like he cements himself like far higher than he already is, which is weird because you think like, oh, he's already a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's already top five QB all time. But it's like, yeah, he definitely just puts himself on a tier by himself, just behind Brady in a sense. And now you're just chasing Tom Brady, which he kind of already is doing anyway, but he really now be on the chase. For Kelsey, I mean, at the rate he's going, depending on what happens Sunday, and if they go win the Super Bowl, like he pretty much puts himself as like this second greatest playoff receiver behind Jerry Rice, if not first. I mean, it depends on how you want to view that. I personally would still have him behind Jerry, even if they win, unless he does something like fantastic, having like back to back, like 150-yard, two touchdown games or something. For the most part, he's probably going to be like second there, but that legacy is just more secure. Same with Andy Reid in a sense, like for all the whole Chiefs in a sense, besides DeAndre Hopkins, but he's in that Amari Cooper McLaurin argument where it's like, oh, the whole world's happy you got one. Most of the Chiefs that have already been there, your resumes all just get boosted an extra tier up, honestly. Like, if you're Travis Kelce, to me, I think Kelsey's like borderline top five tight end. Like, he probably, depending on how he does, he probably is now in that top five. Mahomes, I say you're second. I think Andy Reid, once again, like wherever you rank him as a coach, he's definitely jumping a few people. Simple as that. DeAndre Hopkins, though, that would be that's like the one thing with the Chiefs winning that wouldn't upset me, honestly. Because like as someone who was a Patriots fan and grew up a Patriots fan, I understand now why everybody hates dynasties. I kind of can see it now because it's like y'all just every year someone's got to beat you. But DeAndre Hopkins is like that one factor where I'm like, you know what? I'd be cool with Chiefs winning just to see DeAndre Hopkins get a ring. Honestly, especially with him having like 85 quarterbacks over his career. It's just that poor guy couldn't catch a break. So for them, and then some of these rookies and stuff like Xavier Worthy, once again, kind of similar to like all the other rookies in this, and especially like a Jaden Daniels that I said way earlier, you just cap off a great start to your NFL career, winning the Super Bowl. Simple as that. I mean, for the Chiefs though, like that's generally like the biggest thing. Mahomes, without a doubt, would be the second greatest quarterback ever. And like that statement, I know is probably going to upset some people. But if he wins the third Super Bowl, honestly, he wins a third and three-peat for his fourth Super Bowl. But I'd argue, even now, you can honestly make that argument, but like that argument's cemented and it's over. To me, it's like when Brady did the 23 comeback and the conversation of like who's the greatest was just over. Mahomes three-peats, that conversation of who's second is over. But anyway, y'all, this was the Harding Way. I thank y'all for tuning in. I'm DJ Harding. If you want, feel free to subscribe, hit those bells and wings things down below. It'd be much appreciated. As I like to say, y'all, anyway, like the Harding Way. Peace.